So I think that if parents and children could come together and be able to talk openly about what problems they have with each other.
And we sat down and talked.
Whenever there are two or more members of a family together and a discussion is going on, that is a council.
I think parents need to let their children talk more. I think with many students at school, they feel they have to put on a show to feel accepted or feel cool, I guess. And so when their parents get mad at them for acting that way, they have to let their children express themselves.
First, parents need to draw the children into the problem-solving process by letting them be heard.
My parents have been, big on education. They both have always, every night before we go to sleep, done your homework,
Now, when I came over here, I did spank my children when they were very little. The times that I knew I spanked them, this is why I have made the effort not to do it anymore, is I feel them drifting away from me.
Talking about the course of action makes all the difference. If it's mandated, there will usually be resistance.
I feel this distance between them and I when I use that kind of discipline. Now, take that and compare to the times when they didn't listen or the times that they didn't do the right thing, and we sat down and talked. The feeling was very, very sweet. It was very mutual, and we felt this closeness, and sometimes it ends up in hugs.
If parents will establish a climate conducive to openness, where every person is important and every opinion is valued, they can create a kind of spiritual synergism in the home.
The outcome alone, when I talk to them versus having been upset and angry at sometimes ready, to just hit them and says, this will make everything fixed. I promise you, the days that I spank them makes us separated so far apart and yet live in the same house. And it was not a good feeling. The days that we sat down and we reason and we make plans to make corrections, to make better choices, have been very, very pleasant.
But I think it's important that because their feelings are not portrayed at school, that they should be able to get it out with their parents to be able to have that connection. And so I think to not hit your kids.
The more fluid, the more non-threatening, the more natural a family council is, the more effective it is.
So that scholarship that we received from
the Kalama Mohala Foundation.
Right.
Yeah,
can you tell us a little bit about some of the requirements?
I remember writing an essay about if we decide to go to college and we received the scholarship award, what would we do with it to to help give back to the Polynesian community?
Right.
Let the children tell their perception of what needs to happen. Point out why you feel the way you feel. You can then start to connect and teach. But the exchange can't be phony or staged. Communication has to be candid.
My mother found my report card and it was I think it was all F's and a D. And my dad took me into a room and he just started crying. And usually he just would he'd just yell at me and I'd feel bad about it, but when he started crying, then I felt that I was actually able to see how my actions were hurting my parents, and I'd seen what I had become by my choices that I made, and I didn't want to be that person anymore, and I wanted to make a change.
I think a mother is probably the key to making councils work. She is often more sensitive and gentle than her husband.
Every culture is similar, but they're different. And how do you then modify your behavior if you raised your kids in an island style and we're in America now? How do you then modify your behavior because you really don't know any other behavior? And I think what you need to do is there are so many resources that I have learned about. When your kid says to you, you know, in Polynesia, you don't talk back to your parents. You know your place and you keep your mouth shut. Your opinion is given to you. You agree, and then you move forward. And if you don't agree with it, then that's remedied immediately. Here, it's not like that. And so I think that a way of modification is remove yourself from the situation. If you know as a parent that you are emotionally over it, you are over their behavior, you're tired of it, you're done, walk away.